Today, we'll be reacting to Watch Mojo's videos. And Watch Mojo was the top 10, top 5, and watch it and subscribe to my channel. Now, let's start the video.
Space aliens, don't eat me! I have a wife and kids! Eat them!
We want to believe. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 alien abduction stories. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at some of the most infamous and fantastic tales from around the world concerning alien abduction. For the record, we're not commenting on the validity of these stories one way or the other, but rather celebrating these wild, wondrous, and sometimes weird accounts of extraterrestrial contact. Number 10, the A-70 incident. Gary Wood and his friend Colin Wright were out driving around 10 p.m. on August 17, 1992, when they noticed an unidentified black object in the sky and a bright wall of light in front of their car. After driving towards the light, the two men were startled to find their car facing in the opposite direction, having suddenly lost an hour according to the clock in the car. Wood and Wright would later claim under hypnotic suggestion that the drive towards the light gave them shocking pain, and that aliens brought them onto their ship for a mysterious examination. Number 9, the John Day family abduction. On a seemingly normal evening in 1974, John Day and his family were returning to their Essex home by car after an outing. Upon arriving, however, Day noticed that the trip had taken hours longer than it should have. Although odd, it wasn't until Day's entire family began complaining of nightmares that he would eventually volunteer for a hypnosis session in search of answers. Day, under suggestion, later claimed that he recalled driving into a strange mist, in which a bright light drew the family car upwards into a spaceship. Other than this and a few other fuzzy memories, however, Day had absolutely no recollection of the missing time. Number 8, Whitley Strieber's communion. The story behind author Whitley Strieber's encounter with the unknown is the first on our list to receive the major motion picture treatment, but it will not be the last. Strieber was arguably best known for his horror classic The Wolfen when he published the much-discussed non-fiction book Communion in 1987. In the book, Strieber describes an experience he had while at his cabin on December 26, 1985. Strieber's description of losing time, lack of sleep, and repeated dealings with tall, pale, black-eyed beings fit the bill of what most perceive as the archetypal alien appearance, although Strieber prefers to refer to them as simply the visitors. Number 7, the Clayton and Donna Lee abductions. Both members of this Texas couple claim to have been abducted multiple times throughout their lives, with Clayton Lee stating his first encounter occurred when he was just a child. To make matters more serious, Donna Lee even claims to have had an unborn fetus stolen from her against her will. The couple states that they live in an atmosphere of constant fear that they'll be abducted again, and have appeared on shows like Fox News' The O'Reilly Factor to describe their experience with these alleged alien invaders.
What I saw on that particular visit, they were tall, slender, blonde, looked human, but not human.
Number 6, the strange tales of Mrs. G. Some stories of alien abduction are told by individuals clearly seeking fame, fortune, or simple attention. This doesn't seem to be so with the anonymous Mrs. G, however, who claims that she was visited by aliens while washing clothes in her backyard. Her story deals with a brilliant blue light that hovered above her and lifted her up into an alien craft in 1965. She reported encountering 3 strange figures wearing reflective metallic suits. Then, Mrs. G felt as if she was hit sharply on the back of her neck, whereupon she found herself back at home hours later, with laundry still in her basket. Number 5, the Manhattan transfer abduction. Linda Cortila Napolitano was living in a New York City high-rise when she claimed to have been visited and abducted by aliens, who whisked her right from an open apartment window in 1989. Napolitano pointed to a nasal surgery of which she had no recollection as proof, offering up a new bump next to her nose as evidence. Her story of abduction was reportedly witnessed by 2 bodyguards, supposedly working a United Nations security detail. In the aftermath of the event, both men allegedly suffered psychotic breakdowns. Despite scrutiny, Napolitano remained adamant about her story, which included being led inside a clam-shaped UFO filled with oddly shaped metallic furniture. Number 4, the alleyway abduction of Carol and Helen Thomas. It was during their daily walk to work when mother and daughter Carol and Helen Thomas reportedly made contact with extraterrestrials in 1988. The pair stopped walking upon noticing a strange humming sound and bright white light, which left them dizzy and disoriented. Carol and Helen both arrived at work hours late, even though they had no recollection of the missing time. The pair also complained of severe skin conditions, as well as feelings of constant anxiety. Carol and Helen would later state under hypnosis that they were brought onto an alien craft for experiments and had eggs removed from their bodies via an invasive tube stuck into their stomachs. Number 3, the Bob Rylance abductions. Many on this list revealed their alien abduction tales while under hypnosis. Military veteran Bob Rylance was another one of these cases, although when Rylance underwent treatment, he discovered it wasn't one specific instance, but rather a series of them that had occurred over the course of his 20-year military service. He claimed that he'd always been sensitive to the paranormal, and after hypnosis, claimed that his abductors would speak to him telepathically during these times, and even used their technology to cure undiagnosed diseases within his body. Number 2, a fire in the sky. Travis Walton was missing for days after he and 6 other men on a logging site spied a mysterious light on their way home.
Looks like the sunset to me. No, Greg, that's east. Sunset behind us 20 minutes ago.
Walton's co-workers corroborated that the light was in fact an alien ship, which took Walton via some sort of tractor beam. It wasn't until Walton finally appeared, with no idea of how much time had passed, that details began to emerge about his time away. Travis claimed that he was held on the ship, interrogated and experimented on by 3 bald creatures with huge eyes. His experience was so spectacular, it was later dramatized in the frightening 1993 film Fire in the Sky. Before we name our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1, Betty and Barney Hill. In 1961, Betty and Barney Hill noticed a bright moving light in the sky while driving home. The Hills followed the light some distance, eventually stopping to peer at it through binoculars. Barney claimed he saw figures inside a disc-shaped craft and hastily got back in his car and drove away. Unbeknownst to them, the Hills had lost 2 hours, arriving home to find their shoes mysteriously scuffed and their wristwatches broken. They would later claim vivid dreams about being taken on board the ship and being experimented on by 2 mysterious beings that spoke difficult, broken English. What's more, Betty was even able to draw a crude star map of a distant and little-known system.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos.
Oh, that's all for you. See you in this